Hey guys, welcome to Going Beyond Your Beliefs About Anxiety. I'm Tara Greenway, and this is actually the first day of the Beyond Your Belief experience. So I am here to tell you that you can move beyond your old negative belief systems, beyond your old stuck energy patterns. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So today we're going to focus on going beyond anxiety. So anxiety has been like the thing of the past year, more than a year now, since COVID started. And anxiety was kind of a thing before, as a lot of you know. Anxiety is our most typical reaction to trauma. And that's kind of what COVID created, was a lot of trauma. So we've been storing a lot of trauma in our bodies because we've been anxious about our health. We've been anxious about our kids. We've been anxious about our parents. We've been anxious about our work. We've been anxious about what the Republicans are doing. We've been anxious about what the Democrats are doing, whatever. It's a little different for everyone. But I think safe to say we're all experiencing anxiety because we have all experienced trauma. And even though things are getting a lot better now, things are opening up, we store trauma in our bodies in different ways, and we store anxiety in our bodies in different ways. You know, all emotions are both emotional and physical. We have different sort of bodies. We have the physical body, obviously. We also have like this etheric body, you know, and we are connected to everybody else. So even if you are a person who's like really got a lot of inner peace and you saw COVID happening and you were like, you know, this is just going to take us to a whole new place. We're all going to learn and grow so much from this. And, you know, even if you're one of those people, you are still connected to group consciousness. So, and if you're a sensitive person, if you're an empath, if you're a healer, or even if you're just a really beautiful, sensitive soul, you are having all of that come at you because you're connected. We're connected out this way. I'm going to talk more about this on our relationship day, which is tomorrow, that we have connections out this way, as well as, you know, maybe you have this beautiful connection to the universe, to the divine, and you're just peaceful, but you also have these connections out to other people, to your loved ones, and even to other people in your country and in the world. So everybody's got anxiety and we store it in different ways. Some of us store it like in our hearts. Some of us store it in our shoulders and our neck. I know that's what I do, and I know that that's why now I have a frozen shoulder. It's getting so much better, but starting around February 2021, so when most of the crisis had actually really kind of passed, my shoulder started to go, I can't do this anymore. You've been putting all your anxiety into me and I can't do it anymore. Some of us store our anxiety in our lower back. A lot of people do that. Some of us react to trauma and anxiety by getting angry and acting out. You might see this in your kids. Some of us react to anxiety and trauma by getting depressed and withdrawing and isolating. All of these things are kind of a rough way to go. So I have some techniques for you today that you can do like right now that will really, really help. So the tricky thing about anxiety is that it thinks it's protecting you, and you subconsciously agree. So anxiety, like every emotion, wants our attention. You can think of your emotions, especially anxiety, as being like a toddler. So what does a toddler do if they want, let's say a toddler is in a grocery store, wants a lollipop. They say, I want that lollipop. And what do they do if you ignore them? They get louder. I want it, I want it, I want it. They repeat over and over. What do they do if you still ignore them and try to pretend that they're not there or that they're not acting in a way that you don't want them to? They throw themselves on the floor and throw a tantrum, or they cry, and our emotions do the same thing. Anxiety is doing the same thing. So that if you ignore your anxiety and try to be like strong, like, no, I'm okay. I'm the one in my family who carries everything. I'm the one at my workplace that is strong and okay, and I have to keep going. Then your anxiety is going to yell louder and louder and louder until you finally look it in the face and say, I see you. You guys, it is not strong to ignore your emotions. Please don't think that. It is not strong to ignore your emotions. The brave thing is to look your scary emotions right in the eye, to look right at fear. I see you, fear. Right at anxiety. I see you. Right at anger. I see you. I am actually angry right now. Look it right in the eye and say, even though I feel you and you're here, I'm okay. It's okay. You're just an emotion. It's all right. And then just by recognizing what you're feeling and telling yourself that it is okay for you to have emotions, just that acknowledgement, like that toddler, helps. But I'm going to give you some other things that will help even more. First, we're going to clear that belief that I said was that tricky thing about anxiety. Anxiety protects me, okay? So when I talk about changing or clearing a belief, that's this technique called theta healing. One of the things that we do with theta healing is remember our connection to the universe, go into this theta brainwave, which is like super easy. Actually, you just go into a visualization meditation. A lot of you meditate. That's good, however you meditate. And then you can ask for a belief system that you have to be changed. So I'm going to do that for you right now if you would like that. It's your belief system and you get to change it if you want to. So if you would like to change this belief, and in fact, the belief system is that I just mentioned is anxiety protects me. I'm going to take it even a little further. And if you want to have this belief, anxiety protects me or my loved ones, because as parents, a lot of times that's what we do. We're like, well, I've got to be anxious to protect my children because it seems like our caution is what's making them safe. But really, it's your logical mind and your actions, right? And your love that keeps your children safe, not your anxiety. Your kids wish that you wouldn't be so anxious, actually. So if you want that belief, anxiety protects me or my loved ones, you just say yes, and I'm going to ask the universe to change that for you right now. And I'm going to give you guys some downloads. Again, I'm asking the universe. It's just like if your computer doesn't have a certain program, you download it from the internet. With you, we download you from the universe if you want these kind of feeling or emotional programs, okay? So just say yes if you would like the download of that you know that it's possible and safe and what it feels like and how, and that you deserve to feel the protection of source, the universe, the divine energy, whatever you like to call that. And just say yes if you would like if you would like to know what it feels like and how, and that you deserve to, it's possible to, and that you already are living without anxiety. So that doesn't mean that you'll never ever feel it. It's just that it's such a habit, anxiety, that sometimes you forget what it feels like to not have it. So what we're downloading is what it feels like to live your day-to-day life without anxiety. And what it feels like and how, and that it's possible and safe, and that you deserve to feel your feelings without getting stuck in them, okay? So there's that difference between feeling them and letting them flow through you, acknowledging them, hello, go, and getting stuck in that feeling, okay? I'm going to tell you what these are first, and then I'm going to download them. So say yes if you'd like to know what it feels like and how, and that you deserve to, it's safe and possible to have hope and have lightness and feel lightness. That's something that some of us haven't felt for a while because we feel heavy. So this is just a download what it's like to feel light again in case you don't remember. And here's a really important one, what it feels like and how that it's possible and safe and that you deserve to unconditionally accept yourself no matter what. So I'm going to download those things for you guys now. And this is both live and if you're even listening to this recording later, it still works. So I'm going to show you now a couple of really, really easy little movements that you can do on yourself. People might not even notice because they're so natural when you feel anxiety, if you feel anxiety coming up. And these are also things that are really great to teach your kids, your own kids, or if you're a teacher, after school worker, or whatever, other people's kids that you're working with. So the first thing is just to go, they're called the oh my God points. So when you are like, oh, shocked or panicked, like what do you do sometimes? Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. So look where my thumbs and fingers are at exactly the points that they need to be. Our ancestors were smart, you know? So what is this doing? The electromagnetic current that's in your fingers all the time, just naturally, is pulling just by your touching your forehead. It's pulling the blood up to your forebrain and your temples. What happens in your forebrain? Thinking, logic. This is where you want to be. What happens when we panic and feel anxious? The fight or flight or freeze response. What does that do? It sends the blood to our legs so we can run away from what's chasing us, and our arms so we can fight what's chasing us. Unfortunately, there's no way to run away from COVID or homeschooling your kids or being upset because you lost your job. There's just no running from this stuff. Our ancestors got to run from, you know, tigers and things that were chasing them. Not like that was some pleasant thing to do, but at least it was a clear solution. So that fight or flight response really helped our ancestors. But it's not helping us that much because it pulls the blood away from the forebrain where we think logically and feel calm, and to that, like I said, to our arms and our legs, our extremities. So we take this right here, our thumbs and our temples, and your fingers here. And this is really important. Breathe, okay? So it takes a minute. You can't just go, oh, I don't know, I feel the same. It didn't work. Tara said it would work, but it didn't. No, you have to like go like this and breathe in and out. It'd be great if you could stay here for 2 or 3 minutes. Even if it's just a minute, that will make a big difference. So right now, together, we're just going to do this for a few breaths in and out, breathing in. Nice big breath. Hold it for a few moments and then breathing out. I tend to close my eyes, you can see, but you don't have to close your eyes for this. It doesn't make any difference. So you could do this even if you're like, you know, in a Zoom meeting. Turn off your camera for 1 second. Pretend that you're like, you know, having a snack or something. People turn off their cameras sometimes. And you're doing this nice thing that's going to calm you down. You can teach your kids to do this to themselves. Obviously, if you're their teacher or something, you're not going to put your hands on them. They're going to do it themselves. But if your kid is really upset, sometimes they'll let you do this to them. Or another way to do almost exactly the same thing is just to go like this. And this is something else we naturally do, right? Like, what? Oh, I can't believe it. Good, leave it right there. And then take your other hand, and actually do it the other way, and put your one hand in the back of your head and this hand in the front. This is Eden energy medicine, by the way. Donna Eden thought up all these things, although really, like I said, it was our ancient ancestors who thought up all these things, but Donna Eden kind of categorized them and let us know about them. So all of these things, you guys, while we breathe right here, all of these things are on my beyondyourbelief.com new beautiful website that was launched yesterday. And also I have a lot of the stuff on my YouTube channel. So if you go there, you can see some nice exercises like this. And so this is a really nice one to do to your child. And you know, we do these things automatically anyway, like, oh, honey, come here. And then you cup the back of their head and tell them, this is going to help you feel better. Breathe with me. Okay, this leads us very nicely right into the next little Donna Eden exercise, which is called the Tripper Warmer Smoothie. You don't have to remember this. Just remember that you go from here and then go a little ways out. Keep your thumbs right on your temples and drag with some firm pressure. I don't know if you can see, I'm like, really firmly pressing like this. Drag out. Go right here. Another nice deep breath will really help out. Hi, you guys. It's so nice to see you all popping in on Instagram. Cynthia and Amy and Carolina and Suzanne, everybody. And then go from here behind your ears, just like you would smooth the little girl's hair behind her ear if she comes to you crying like, what's the matter, honey? This is a triple warmer smoothie. It's on a meridian called the triple warmer. And if you see, I'm pressing in. This feels really good, you guys. It's like giving yourself a little massage right back here. I'm pressing in and going down to these points right here where we store all our tension, some of us. And then I like to give myself a nice little massage. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Susan. It's so nice to see you. Leanne on Facebook. This isn't Donna Eden, this is Tara Greenway. Give yourself a massage as long as you're here. Give yourself a nice squeeze right here. And then if you feel like you've got a lot of anxiety and you're like, ugh, you can throw it off. This is a good thing to teach your kids. Or I'll show you another way to do it. Remember, you start up here, drag out with some pressure. Nice deep breath in once you get to your temples, and you can go like this a little bit in circles, and then behind your ear, like this, behind both ears, go back here, a little massage, and then you could either, shake off all that negative energy, or you could cross down to your heart chakra and breathe. And that leads us very nicely into the next thing, which is having both your hands on your heart chakra. And again, this is a triple warmer thing. The triple warmer is kind of I think of it as the anxiety meridian. It's not a great name for it because that's the negative aspect of it, not the positive aspect of it. But that's just how I think of it. So if you go between your knuckles of your pinky and your ring finger and go down about an inch or so, put your hand on your heart and then tap right there, or you could rub in little circles. I want you guys to see right there, okay? This is the triple warmer point, one of many actually. And by tapping it, and if you can think, kind of focus in just slightly, don't go deep into detail, but on whatever's stressing you out. Like let's say it's your kids having to do online school. You just kind of think about how they're in online school and they hate it and you hate it, and breathe. And just tap. And this is going to bring your fight or flight or fear response down, okay? It's going to make all that cortisol and adrenaline that's rushing through your body go ahead and release, okay? Again, it's important to stay here for a minute or two, maybe 3 minutes would be nice and luxurious. Tap, tap, tapping. You can go to your other hand if you want. Doesn't matter. It kind of keeps it even though. Some people like that. And remember to breathe. The breathing is really important. And if you feel like you're like in front of a lot of people or something, you don't want to be tapping on yourself, you really could just breathe and just go like this. This isn't very noticeable because I use these things all the time. A lot of times I fall asleep with my hands like this or like this. It really does help, and it'll help your kids too. One more simple little Eden energy thing, and then we're going to do some tapping. Tapping is excellent for anxiety, okay, and trauma. It's been really proven to do great stuff for people who are severely traumatized, like veterans, let alone the trauma that we experience in our everyday life. It's great for that. Okay, so I'm going to show you one more thing it's called different things, but I call it the blowout, okay? So we're going to usually do it standing up, but I don't have that kind of room here in my little office, so I'm going to do it sitting down for you right here. And so you're gonna, and this is a really good one for kids too, especially if your kids or you kind of tend towards anger. I tend towards like being a little depressed and like oh this, so I like this one and this one, you know. But if you tend more towards anger, and certainly I've been there too, this is a really good one. So you put your hands up like this, way up over your head. Nice deep breath in, and then you, so I'm gonna do that in slow motion. Go up and then bring your hands down. You can have them in fists if you want to, down, and you're coming down the central meridian here, okay? All the way down to your pelvis, all right? And it's kind of fun. So again, you're lightly focusing your attention on whatever is upsetting you, and you're going and blowing it out, okay? Again, really fun for kids to do. Let's blow this out, like, and you can put a behind it if you want, but you don't have to, okay? I wouldn't recommend like screaming. You know how sometimes you want to go and scream in your car? We've all done it, but I recommend just blowing out, breathing out, okay? Maybe with a little sound. All right? Really good one. Doesn't it just feel good? Okay. So cool. Hey, Becky, I'm glad you love it. Yeah, this will be great for those kids, Becky. So let's do some tapping, okay? Like I said, tapping, this is EFT, Emotional Freedom Techniques, founded by Gary Craig. And it has been proven, like I said, to be actually more effective than CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, in veterans. They use it at the Walter Reed Center for Veterans. That means the US government is even using this. The APA, American Psychological Association, approves it. So we're going to start right here on what's called the gamut point, okay, about halfway down between this knuckle and the end of your hand. Some people start on triple warmer. Let's keep it simple and just do this. And we're just going to lightly focus on what is bothering us. And we're going to say, even though whatever it is, I accept myself, or even though whatever it is, I know it's just a feeling. So I'm going to use myself as an example. And what stresses me out is my whole family being home and I'm working from home. So it makes the boundaries really tough. What's work and what's home and what's school and what it's stressful for me. I really want to be there for them. I want to be there for my, clients and students and my work. It's very stressful. So I'm going to say, even though I feel, and you want to say I feel, you don't want to say even though I am anxious, because you yourself are not anxiety, right? You're you, and you have this feeling. I don't want to make the word so complicated and important, but the fact is that it's a feeling that is going to come through, and then you're going to, like I said, just recognize it. Hello, anxiety, I see you, but you actually don't protect me. You bug me a lot, and so I'm going to just let you go, okay? So I'm going to say, in my case, even though I feel stressed by having my whole family home and working from home, that's just a feeling. And try to say it 3 times right here. Even though I have this feeling of stress being home, working, and my whole family home, it's just a feeling, and I accept my feelings. Even though I do feel stressed with my whole family being home and me working from home, no, that's just a feeling, and it's okay for me to have it. Okay, and then we're going to come to this point, just at the top of your head right there. You don't have to say all of those words now. You can just shortcut it, because now your attention is on it, right? Remember, what we're doing is interrupting that fight or flight or freeze response, and we're doing it by tapping the end points of these meridians that lead directly to the amygdala. The fight or they don't lead there, sorry. They communicate well with the amygdala, okay? And they're saying, hey, amygdala, fight or flight or freeze, thanks a lot for letting me know that something's wrong, but you can relax now, okay? So now I'm just going to say this feeling of stress about my family being home. And then I'm going to go to the next point right beside your eyebrow. It's not your third eye, all my spiritual, beautiful people that I love. It's by your eyebrow, okay? Oh, I do have these feelings of stress with my family being home and working from home, but I accept my feelings. And then right next to the eye, we're following this bone around, okay? tap, 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 maybe 10 or 20 taps, but you don't have to count them. This feeling of stress because my family's around, and you can rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 if you want, so you can kind of track it. It's not bad for me right now, so don't go. The next point is right below your eye. You don't have to go by everybody asks this. So you don't have to go by how stressful it was when the worst part of the event was occurring. You're actually going by how stressful it is to remember it right now. So right now, I'm actually not that stressed about my family being home, but when I remember it, it is kind of a 5 to me. Even though I have this feeling, so now I'm under the eye and now I'm going under the nose. You would wash your hands before you do this, right? Oh, I do have this feeling of stress working from home and having my family be home. It's a little stressful. It's just this feeling. It's a feeling that I have. I accept my feelings. And then on your chin, this feeling, I'm trying to see if it's going down. It's not going down for me yet. You might think about where it is in your body. With me, I feel it in my heart. My heart feels a little like tight, you know? This feeling of tightness in my heart about this working from home, with family being home all day, that whole thing. And then I'm going to go right below my collarbone. So your collarbones are these bones that are protruding out, go about an inch below and about an inch out. And you can feel a little indentation right here. And that is where you're going to tap. This feeling of stress when I'm working from home and there's my family right there wanting me, wanting me, wanting me. Yeah, and it's true. Leanne is mentioning the website beyondyourbelief.com has all of this and more stuff too, and so does the YouTube channel. This feeling of stress, and then you're going to go about 4 inches under your armpit here, under the deepest part of your armpit, right here. It's kind of right along your bra line for people, for women who still wear bras. I still wear one even after 2020, right on your bra line, and you might feel sore right there. Actually, a lot of these points might feel sore. If it feels sore, you know that the energy is getting stuck there, and it's a perfect place to either tap, or this one, it's a little more awkward to tap. You can also go like this. So you can either tap here, or I like to do little circles pretty firm. If your energy is stuck there and it's sore, you don't want to hurt yourself. You're not digging in to hurt yourself, but you're pretty firmly. It's just helping to loosen up the energy, okay? This feeling of stress when my family's home and I'm trying to work and they want me, they want me, they want me. Now I'm going back up to the top of my head, okay? This feeling of stress, and actually it is getting lighter now. This feeling of stress, that's like a 3. I feel this stress, and it's just a feeling, and it's okay to have my feelings. See, I'm tapping through a little bit faster now, but I'm going to tap all these points, and you are saying, even though I have this, whatever you feel, even though I have this feeling of whatever it is, it's just a feeling, or I accept myself. Right under the nose, on the chin, and breathing. If you are too upset, or if you just can't remember what I said you're supposed to say, you can just do what we call tap and breathe. Just stimulating these points. It's like acupuncture. You know how they use needles in acupuncture to stimulate the ends of the meridians? We are doing exactly the same thing, but just tapping on them instead of needling them. And acupuncturists have to train a lot to figure out where the points are because they have a needle. They have to get very specific. I couldn't tell you exactly where K27, which is what we're tapping here, is, but I know it's somewhere around here. So if I just go like this, I'm going to hit it at some point, okay? So it's a much easier, simpler thing to do than acupuncture, but it's doing the same thing. Lots of science behind how and why this works and that it does work. So if you just tap and breathe, even if you don't say anything else, it will help you. And I've done that too. I've been that upset that even I can't think of what to say in my EFT tapping, and I just go, and now I think I'm at a 1. So it is working. Now, when I'm really upset about something that's really freaking me out, it might not go down with 3 rounds. It might not go down in 3 minutes. It might take 10 or 15 minutes. I think what happens when people say to me, oh, I've tried tapping, tapping doesn't work with me. I think that they're doing it for 2 or 3 minutes. And I understand, that they're like, this doesn't work and plus it's stupid, because they haven't looked at the research to show them like how it works. So they think it might be just some silly gimmick. And also they're not doing it for long enough. So if you've tried tapping for like 3 or 4 minutes and it didn't work, try it for a bit longer. Because you know what? Your anxiety, you might feel like you don't have 15 minutes to do this. Your anxiety is going to last for days and months and years unless you do something about it, right? So you might as well take 15 minutes and do this and see how different you feel. There's also a way of tapping that's really more just saying affirmations. I know I can do this. I know I'm resilient. I know I'm strong. I gotta say to you, I hate that way. With me, it does the opposite. It makes me cry. I don't feel strong. This doesn't work. There's something wrong with me. So I think when people say tapping doesn't work for them, they have seen some kind of app that does it, that really is more about saying affirmations and tapping. That works for a lot of people. It really does. And I wish I were those people, but it doesn't work for me, So if you're super sensitive and if like the stuff comes up, oh, Susan is saying working with affirmations works better for me. See, so everybody's different and that's cool. If you just want to say the affirmation, like, I am so resilient. I have faith. I have courage. You can do that. But if that doesn't work for you, then try it the other way, which is even though I feel like I cannot go on, that's just a feeling and I accept my feeling, okay? Whatever works for you. So that's what energy tools are all about. It's finding the thing that works for you and doing it, finding the thing that might help your kids or your family or friends or your coworkers and doing it. If you want me to come and teach you more about this in your workplace or your church or synagogue or whatever, you let me know. You can go to beyondyourbelief.com and see work with me. If you want private sessions, you can do that too. You can also join me here every day this week for the Beyond Your Belief experience. Today, of course, we were going beyond anxiety. Tomorrow at 12:30, we are going beyond crappy relationships. And so we are going to take a look at relationships. What happens with relationships, just in brief, is that unfortunately you tend to repeat the type of relationships you had in your childhood. So think about that for a second and go, I'd like to change that. And luckily we can. So tomorrow I'm going to give you some tools to change the type of relationships that you keep getting into. You're doing that because your soul wants to learn a different way, okay? And so that's what we're going to do, is we're going to make sure you learn those soul lessons and you get out of those like not so great relationships, and you either get into whole different relationships or you make the relationships that you're already in much more beautiful and deeper and connected. So you guys, I truly hope that this has helped you to go beyond anxiety. I know that these things help me every day. Thank you for joining me here. You can find out more at beyondyourbelief.com. See you.